We are back with Brian Colin, a prolific game designer, artist, and animator. Such classics such as Arch Rivals and one close to my heart, General Chaos. Brian, how you doing here today?
I'm doing fantastic. This has been a great show. The crowd here is so informed; it makes it a lot more fun.
Is this your first Midwest Gaming Classic?
It is. I've done the Wizard World, some of the other ones, but this one, like I say, the crowd knows their stuff. And that makes all the difference.
So I see that you've got all of these different displays here for things like General Chaos and Rampage and Pigskin. What's getting the most response today?
Oddly enough, the different crowds are different. Xenophobe is getting. There are more Xenophobe fans here today than I've ever had at any show before.
That's amazing.
Yeah, General Chaos usually gets its rabid fans and Rampage, and everybody knows. Xenophobe today, for some reason, the Xenophobe fans are all coming out of the woodwork.
Well, you were around in a very particular age of game design, smaller teams going out across the country. What was that like back then?
It was wonderful. It was a great time to stumble into this industry. There was, it'd be a programmer, an artist or two, a sound guy, and that was it. And you'd have a game done in 6 or 8 months, and if you didn't have it done, they had to lay off guys down in the factory. So you got stuff out on time, and it was a good time too because management at that time would let us be as creative as we wanted to be. So you were always pushing the envelope, and that's what makes it fun for me is, tell me what I can't do, I'm going to figure out a way I can do it.
What kind of culture were you experiencing? Were you guys all showing up in button suits and sitting down at your desks and diligently working 9 to 5?
You got there and worked until you couldn't work anymore. I mean, it was not it was a relaxed atmosphere. I think, you'd go out to the park for lunch and have a few beers and have mustard fights in the picnic tables.
Whatever helps the creativity, right?
Right, but then you also worked till 1 in the morning, and I'd have my cot under the desk there, and, because it was a long drive home, so.
That's incredible. So now you're back. So we had the arcade culture back in the day. Now it seems like it's making a return in the mobile space. And out of, from my perspective, out of nowhere, General Chaos 2 exists, and it is coming on PC, mobile, and possibly elsewhere. What can you tell us? Why General Chaos of all the games you worked on?
General Chaos, I get more fan mail asking for that Sega Genesis game than all the much better known games that I've done. I don't know why. I think it was an early, RTS battle game, whatever, but we couldn't do much on the Sega Genesis. We were pushing it, just putting 10 guys out there on a single screen, 4 players, up to 4 players. And for a long time now, the technology is I want to do a game where I can just, instead of this to control a cursor, I want there, you guys go here, slide the touchscreen. Once touchscreen became mainstream, we've got to do a PC game that uses a touchscreen and that'll be the main control. So it's going to be a pad game, it's going to be a PC touchscreen game, and it's going to be an arcade game.
That is possibly the most exciting news out of all of this, is kind of the revival of the arcade. Obviously, you've got some work going on over here. Is that Raiders? Which one is that one?
Raiders Run is, we're doing that for Gallopin' Ghost Productions. That'll be out this summer. That's a brand new 2-player race game. It's both a dedicated arcade, and you can flip a switch, and it can be a ticket spitter for guys running Redemption. We're doing a 30-year-old Laserdisc game I shot back in the day that the film got finished, but they never made it into a game. Doc at Gallopin' Ghost said, this is going to be the ultimate restoration. We're going to bring this thing alive. So it's only taken 30 years to.
What's that like for you? You make something 30 years ago, it's done, it's dead, it's never coming out, and now, here it is. Everyone can play it.
I've been making games. I've been in this industry for 35 years almost, and I don't really think about, people tap me on the shoulder and say, can you do a game for us? And I say, yeah. So I've done all kinds of different games. But I did get to the point here a few years ago where I'm never going to do another arcade game. And the fact that there is this resurgence in arcades and the interest in retro stuff, was a delight to me. I only found out about it a couple of years ago, and shows like this are wonderful. I mean, I love to see the fact that people are passionate about this, and it makes it fun for me because I'm getting to do arcade games again.
I've got to ask you about General Chaos specifically. Who published that? Was that Electronic Arts?
EA wooed us away from, we were working for Midway after Williams bought them, and about 6 months, they tried to get me to come out there and move to California. And I said, no, I'll work remotely. I don't really want to live in California.
What was it like working with Electronic Arts?
They were great. They really, back in the day, they were a model group to work for in terms of their contract structure and everything. And they basically said, you don't want to move out here? We'll give you the money, start your own company. So, I mean, I'm not a businessman, I'm a game designer, but I've been lucky in that I've been muddling through and having fun at it for 35 years.
Game Refuge lives on PC, mobile, and somehow arcades. After all these years, what are you most excited about for your future work right now?
The thing I'm most excited about is finishing General Chaos 2. We started it a couple of years ago on our own dime and ran out of money, so it's been sitting idle for a little more than a year, but it's about halfway done, and we're picking it up this summer. And next spring, it will be out in the world again.
I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, thank you for working on General Chaos, and thank you for making General Chaos 2. That is a dream come true that I never thought would happen. Thank you.
Thank you.
I honestly can't believe that you're making General Chaos 2. It's the coolest news.